Hello YouTube, and welcome to Turmoil in the Toybox. I'm your host, Aaron Hauser, and today we're going to be reviewing the Prometheus Series 2 set of figures from NECA. This includes the Deacon and David 8. Now, if you want to get these guys as a set, it'll run you about $40 on Amazon.com, and then $16 to $25 per figure if you buy them individually, depending on who you get them through. Both of these guys come with a ton of accessories. The Proto-Xenomorph, or Deacon as it's referred to, comes with a display stand, 2 hammerpedes that are bendable, and a dissected engineer head with a removable helmet. The David 8 figure comes with 2 head variants, as well as a removable helmet and a flashlight. Both of these guys feature a lot of articulation and some really nice intricate detailing that NECA was able to work into for both of the figures. So enough rambling, on with the review. We'll start off by taking a look at David. He features articulation in the ankles, in the knees, double jointed actually, rotation in the hips, at the mid-hip point, in the upper hips, forwards, backwards, in and out, rotation at the torso, at the mid-torso point there, articulation in the wrist, elbows, shoulders, and the head is on a ball joint as well. He also features some minor articulation in the little shoulder-mounted camera there that runs down with a flexible plastic cord to a pack attached to the back of his utility belt there. They did a great job with the decals on there. They're painted on, not stickers, which is nice. And then on the back, he's got the Whalen Corporation insignia there. He comes with a couple different accessories, as I mentioned earlier. He comes with an additional head. I honestly preferred this one because the one that I received, the regular head, actually has this paint drip on the forehead, which just kind of looks odd to me. But overall, they did a great job of capturing the look of Michael Fassbender from this film. And the heads are easily interchangeable. Just pop it off like that. And then kind of have to line it up because it's sort of skittish there. Pops on like so. And then the helmet, which is really nicely done, actually just sits on there really easily, lines up with the grooves, and then attaches like that. So looks really nice when it's all fully assembled like that. You have a couple different looks you can give David on display, either that one or without the helmet and just the hair. A lot of different possibilities for display with this guy. And then he also comes with this little flashlight data pad thing. I'm not sure what exactly it is. And that can be held in either of his hands. I find it fits a little easier in his right hand there. But yeah, overall, this is a really, really cool figure. I really loved, like I said, how well they captured the look of Michael Fassbender for this sculpt. So they did a great job with this one. I'm really excited to see how the Shaw figure turns out. I think that'll be probably the next one I buy from this line. The other ones, they didn't look too incredible, but the Shaw and the Vickers figures I will probably definitely want to check out. But yeah, that's it for David. Next up is the Deacon. This guy has some really interesting articulation to him. A couple points I'm not a huge fan of, but overall this is just a beautifully sculpted figure. Just beautifully done. Has articulation in the ankles, in the knees, in the hips, sort of a mid-torso ball joint there. He has articulation in the wrists, in the elbows, and then the shoulders. This is where it gets kind of iffy. Has flexibility in and out, but no back and forth at all. It does rotate slightly, but there's no forwards and backwards motion to rock the arm in any sort of direction. Now, this is really supposed to just look like the end scene from Prometheus, so you really don't need it to do a whole lot. And with the display stand, you can capture that iconic scene very easily. But overall, I really love the paint application on this guy. he's covered in this sort of the black mess from when he bursts out of the engineer at the end of the film. And they did a great job with like the hands and the head. I'm not a huge fan of how they did the neck, but it worked out nicely, I think, for what they could do with it. And then the jaw articulation was actually probably my favorite feature on this. Kind of opens like this, and then extends forward, and then the inner jaw can open up. So it can tuck away nicely, and then you can pull it out, fully extend the jaw, and then open the inner jaw there, which is pretty cool. So very easy to use. I was kind of wondering if they'd actually make it like a trigger action sort of feature, but I'm really glad they didn't, because that kind of drives me nuts when they do that on adult collector's figures. But they did a great job just capturing the entire look of the Proto-Xenomorph overall. And as far as accessories, actually we'll start off with the display stand. Like I said, this guy does come with the stand, and he can be positioned kind of on all fours if you want. You kind of have to pull the knees out a little like that. But if you want to display him on the stand, which is the best option, I think, the feet just plug right into the pegs there. And you kind of have to have him in this sort of golem-like position. So lock the feet in there. And you have to have him kind of squat like that. And then if he leans forward, he'll actually keep his weight balanced rather nicely. So extend that out. And there you go. Now, some of the other accessories includes the bendable hammer peds. There's one with the little fins open. Looks very cool. Wasn't a huge fan that they actually had those open holes on the bottom of it, especially since you're probably going to pose the figure like this. It looks kind of odd. And it's the same on the other one. They have one with the wings closed up like that. But overall, it's very cool that they actually did include these. It's a really easy addition to the figure, but it means a lot, especially for collectors, to actually get some of these extra creatures like that in the set. And then this is probably my favorite accessory, is the dissected engineer head that Shaw finds in the first part of their expedition in the film. So it actually has a removable helmet, like that, just pops right on. And it's got this really cool deteriorated sort of look to it. And then the engineer himself has that very distressed look on him. Head's very weathered looking. And then, yeah, it kind of made me wonder, though, if they can do this with the this little detachable headpiece, why couldn't they do this on the other engineer figure? It would have been really nice to see them add that at some point, but maybe that'll be like a Comic-Con release, who knows. So, yep, that's about it. Overall, I really love this figure. This is probably my, I don't know, it's hard to say which of these two is my favorite out of the series, but I'd probably have to go with the Proto-Xenomorph, the Deacon, just because the jaw articulation, and even though it has some odd articulation in the shoulders, just the amount of detail in this guy and the accessories that come with him just make him one of the best NECA figure purchases you'll make in a while. I honestly can't think of another 7-inch scale figure that came with this many accessories. Maybe one of the AVPR Predators. I think that one of those came with like a face hugger and a couple other things. But this one comes with a lot of accessories and just a lot of really fine points that make this probably the best out of the two figures. So yeah, both of these figures are a huge score for NECA's Prometheus line. Honestly, these are probably my two favorite out of the series. I love the engineers from the first series, but they were pretty basic. These figures have a lot of dynamic articulation, design, as well as some phenomenal accessories to boot. So these are probably the definitive series of the Prometheus line from NECA. I just throwing that out there. My opinion, I really did love the 2-pack from Toys R Us with the Trilobite and the Battle Damaged Engineer, but these guys are definitely where it's at. So these should be available at Toys R Us within the next couple months, and like I said, they're available on Amazon.com now. Just take a look around. Try not to get them off of eBay simply because there are a lot of people that I see just scalping collectors with ridiculous prices. And Amazon.com has some really good competitive prices, so definitely check that out. But that's it for this review. If you have any questions about the figures, just leave them in the comments below, and check out some of my other reviews, including reviews on the Toys R Us Prometheus 2-pack, as well as the Series 1 set of Engineer figures. So that's it. Thanks for watching.